Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 240, Home Run Derby and All-Star Game Recap. I'm Nick, and we have Harrison tonight. How are we doing, Harrison?
Fantastic, Nick. Back again. Don't adjust your sets. It really is us one more time this week.
I know, crazy. 4 times this week. We had our Sunday show. We were on live for the Home Run Derby. Had Jeopardy, another crazy game of Jeopardy yesterday. And then back to recap the All-Star week so far. So yeah, a lot to kind of get into. But first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors at Dick's Sporting Goods, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of all of our socials. So if you do any shopping with these companies, please do it through us as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the show. We also have Rounding Third merch. If you go to Rounding Third Baseball on Etsy, we have sweatshirts, t-shirts, tumblers. We have a whole bunch of stuff there. Just another great way to support the show. All right. So here we go. We'll start right off with the Home Run Derby. Overall, what did you think about the Home Run Derby? I know going in, we were like, well, we're not completely impressed by the field. How are you feeling about the Home Run Derby as a whole?
I mean, I thought overall the Home Run Derby was good. I think you had some guys that put on a show. O'Neal Cruz hitting, as we expected, hitting just nukes. Cal Raleigh hit a bunch. And we saw guys like Caminero perform well. We also saw guys go out there and not perform so well. We saw James Wood do an okay job. We saw Brent Rooker fall a little short. We saw Jazz
a little short, Harrison. Try 3 inches short.
Yeah, right. Fell a little short. Decimal places on the home run distance. Jazz being Jazz. Matt Olson did okay. So it's I think it was good. It was certainly not a home run derby that I'm going to sit back and go, man, that was. I'm glad I got to witness that, but it was all right.
Yeah, I have a couple takeaways. First of all, I can't believe Jazz was a contestant there. I mean, there was other people that would have gladly, I think, taken the role and would have performed at least a little bit better.
Half the rosters.
You got Gino Suarez that would have done it, and he said he would have if he was asked. I just don't know how Jazz Chisholm gets a bid there. I really don't. And then the whole thing with Brent Rooker and Cal Raleigh in the first round. Now, if you're MLB, you can't have the guy that's leading the league in home runs out in the first round, can you?
No. I mean, Cal is a big draw to that event. People wanted to see Big Dumper in the Derby. Obviously a heavy favorite. I think that him going out in the first round would have been a huge disappointment. Now, I will say, when you look back at home run derby history, a lot of times your favorite does go out early, because there's it's a bit of a crapshoot. It's a matter of the pitches you get, how hot you get. Cal Raleigh he started off a little slow and then had a really good first round. And I shouldn't say really good, but a good enough first round to save himself. But I think if you're MLB, having Cal Raleigh go out in the first round is not ideal.
But at the same time, how do you not have a swing off with Brent Rooker there? I mean, I know the tiebreaker is technically by distance.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was literally by inches.
It was 0.08 feet. I mean, it was insane small number.
Yeah, we're not talking feet. We're talking inches. Just have them do what they did at the end of the All-Star game, which we'll get into in a little bit, a 3-pitch swing off.
Yep.
That's it. That's the tiebreaker. I think Rooker got a little bit hosed there.
Yeah, and he, after the game, he was obviously not impressed with how it went down. And I don't blame him. And also, how are you getting that accurate on a measurement from the booth on a computer? Are we really buying the fact that they're measuring these home runs down to the decimal place?
Yeah.
I'm not. Nothing they can do is that accurate.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It should have been some kind of swing off. And then, then it's total home runs in that swing off, or maybe it's total distance in that swing off. But you can't get to a point where you're looking at decimal points to decide a winner on a number is not perfect.
Right. Yeah. I demand a recount on the distance. Yeah, we're with you, Chad, for sure.
Well, and Rooker's whole point was like, if you're going to measure decimal points, like just put that out there and tell us that, like make it clear.
Right.
We didn't realize you were measuring things to that level of detail. When we were at, I think it was 471, when we're both at 471, we thought we were tied.
Right.
Come to find out we weren't.
Yeah. It might have been one of those like, oh crap moments. What do we do?
It very well could have been. It could have been the tiebreaker's distance. Oh no, they've got the same number.
Right.
Okay, now what?
Yeah.
But I agree. Like the swing off would have been way more exciting. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just give these guys something to break the tie.
Yep.
It was kind of a silly way. And honestly, like as fans, we didn't really know what was going on.
No, until we see Cal and not Rooker in the next round.
They went to commercial, kind of skipped the details, and Cal Rowley's on the board, and you're like, really? Like, how do you get there?
Right. And Brent Rooker's off because we're like, we go to commercial break. We're like, oh, these two guys are tied for, fourth right here going in. So, I mean,
I was figuring we'd come back from the commercial break and it was going to be some sort of a tiebreaker, but instead Cal Rowley's advanced, Brent Rooker's out. Everybody's like, what just happened? And then off we go.
Yeah. So second round, it's Buxton, Caminero, Raleigh, and my goodness. Why am I blanking on the fourth guy?
Not Olson, not Wood, not Rooker, not Jazz.
Not Chisholm.
Oh, Cruz, O'Neill Cruz.
Oh, thank you. My God.
I was like, who are we missing?
Yeah. So, I mean, that was pretty good. I mean, but Cal Raleigh had a second round that was it's a minute less, and he put up way more than he did in the first round.
He had a massive round.
Yep, absolutely crushed it. I mean, no doubt that he was the winner out of that whole field, but O'Neill Cruz, what was that? 531? Is that what he got to?
I can't remember. It was crushed. That thing to right center.
Absolutely insane. But yeah, absolutely crazy. I liked it. I was pulling for Caminero. He was my pick at the first part of it. At the beginning, I should say. Sorry, terrible. Can't put a sentence together right now. But I thought he put up a good round, and he put the league on notice for sure. I think people are really going to start paying attention to him.
Yeah, I mean he was built for these things. He's won the Winter League the last couple of years. I think. Yeah, sorry, Chad's got it right. 513. Dyslexia is hard.
It's whatever.
But I mean, still, O'Neill Cruz did we expect him to do? We didn't think he'd win. We were more worried about him kind of flaming out because he was tired, but we knew he was going to hit bombs.
Yeah,
and he did not disappoint.
No, I mean, John Temple. I knew Jazz was going to be a premature elimination. I'm not going to put that one on, but yes,
beautiful saying, statement, but yikes.
Absolutely. Brian, I don't know. We talked about it a little bit here at the very beginning. I don't know. I have no answer for this at all. I really don't. I don't see what they saw in that. Other than maybe just a left-handed bat. So I don't know. Yeah. Cruz Chad says Cruz did better than I thought. I think the new format helped him out. He lost because Cal got hot, not because he got gassed. Yeah, true. Absolutely.
Yeah, we thought, O'Neill Cruz is a max effort guy. Our fear was in an event like this, what kind of gas does he have left after the first round? He had a pretty good second round. Cal just tore it apart.
Yeah.
And we can't ignore the fact that Cal Raleigh also got plunked in the middle of all this by his father, which was A, hilarious, and B, strange to see because you don't usually see a guy get hit in the home run derby.
Yeah,
but it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So Cal wins. Then we are heading on.
Not a home run. I want to see a bunting competition. Nick's been asking for a bunting competition for years.
Yeah, just give me the skills competition at this point.
Yeah, it's Japan or Korea. Somebody has one of these. Yeah. We've seen videos of it. We're like, oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
The problem is the average fan who MLB wants to watch won't watch that. And based on the ratings, I mean, the All-Star game had 7.2 million viewers, blew up. I mean, the All-Star game apparently is popular again.
Yeah. Which, go figure, half the stars weren't even there. But
I know.
whatever.
Imagine what it would look like if you actually had all the guys that were supposed to be there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with the bunting derby. You put it in like a skills competition. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Forrest should have intentionally walked him. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah,
they do
that-
it to Bonds in one of the derbies back in the early 2000s?
Yeah, they did.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that was pretty cool to have his dad pitching. His Cal's brother was catching. It was all a kind of like, family affair out there. So that was pretty cool to see. But
I mean, a very cool moment for him. He was, he was certainly enjoying it, taking it all in. But so cool to have your whole family there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Chad, from what I had read today, it sounds like the ratings were up, consistent with where they've been all year. At the 7.2 million viewers and like 3 million viewers more than the NBA All-Star game, which isn't saying much because who actually watches that?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think the Derby was all right. I mean, there wasn't a ton of drama, I guess.
Except for the weird first round finish.
Yeah,
there wasn't a lot of drama. It was most of the head-to-heads were not that close.
Yeah.
And again, that format is challenging. It's challenging to watch because it's all happening so fast, and it's hard to keep track how many home runs are hit. The rounds are so quick. All of a sudden you're just watching the gap close, and somebody climbs over the next guy. It is really challenging to keep track of what's going on because it's just so fast.
Yeah, the split screen is really tough to follow.
Oh,
I do miss the days where you were able to, see the pitch come in and then track the home run to the bleachers. And now you can't even really enjoy the distance of the home run. So
no, you barely see it. It's just don't. O'Neal Cruz hit that 500+ foot missile to right center field, and I don't think we ever got to see that ball come down.
No, not until like after the round was over and they replayed it. That's really the only time. But all right,
whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah. All right, let's move over to the All-Star game. I kind of was keeping a running tally of the scoring as it was going on. First inning, Ketel Marte RBI double, 2 runs batted in, 2-0 NL. Looks like by the 6th inning, this is going to be an absolute runaway by the NL. Pete Alonso threw on homer. Corbin Carroll with a bomb to right center, make it 6-0.
Well, and Corbin Carroll's a guy we were wondering if he'd even play, given the fact he had just come back from the injury, and he looked fine out there.
Yeah, and he's had a great season. I'm glad he was able to showcase that even more. But
yeah, baseball needs him.
Yep. So 7th inning comes. Brent Rooker 3-run shot, absolute bomb to left center. 7th inning, Bobby Witt RBI ground out, makes it 6-4. 9th inning, back-to-back doubles, Buxton and Witt, 6-5. NL still has a 1-run lead. And then Buxton gets over to third on an RBI on a ground out, and then Stephen Kwan with an infield single, 6-6. And we head into, quote unquote, extras, where the home run tiebreaker swing off comes into play. So what was your first reactions when you saw who was hitting against who here?
My first reaction was, did we forget we've got all the home run leaders on the bench? And then come to find out, Shohei Ohtani was not available. Aaron Judge was not available. Shohei apparently wasn't even there anymore. He was gone. He was changed and gone from what the media was saying. I thought he was still there, but they, all the big boppers were unavailable to play in this tiebreaker swing off. So that's who you had left.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they showed it at one point during the game. Is Tarek Skubal had already like showered and gotten into street clothes and was back in the dugout by like the 6th inning. So
these guys were all like, they were checking out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I saw the list and I'm like, this doesn't look to me like who you'd run out there as your 3 best, but there's got to be a reason for it. And then we found out later why, because none of the big boppers were available.
Yeah. I do want to say something about the All-Star game though. kind of retracting before we get into this. The Tigers did not have a good showing at the All-Star game.
They did not.
Their bat, everybody, their bat, Green, Baez, all them, they went 0 for. Tarek Skubal gave up the 2 runs. Now, granted, he did have the announcers in his ear the entire time. That probably didn't help. And then who came in relief? Was it Reese Olson or someone in there? But he's the one that gave up the 3-run shot to Alonso and the solo to Corbin. So they did not have a good showing there. But anyways,
Gleyber Torres got embarrassed. And was it his first inning at bat against Skeens? He got absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah. Oh, let's touch on this too. First, I forgot all about this. Yes.
Oh yeah.
So Brandon, great point. The Hank Aaron tribute. Holy smokes, was that incredible. And the way they did the whole thing, like they had some graphics on the field itself, like on the scoreboard. Like it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen, I think, in sports, period.
Yeah, they did a very nice job utilizing every piece of technology, every resource, every way to do it to really make that a moment that people will remember. Still to me, that the 99 All-Star game with the All-Century team and Ted Williams and like that to me will be one of the greatest moments of all time to have all those guys in the field at one time. But this is like right behind it. This was really cool. Yeah.
I just love how they used the field as a screen along with like using the scoreboard and like the old light bulb scoreboard to show 7:15.
Oh yeah, right.
The firework to take off like as it was his home run for 7:15. Like that was cool. It was just very well done. I can't even imagine if I got to see that live. It must have just been chills.
Yeah, that had to have been cool.
I can't even imagine. But yeah, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah. And pretty consistent in chat here that.
Yeah.
Brandon, I mean, you're not wrong in the fact that there's still a lot of love for Hank Aaron and what he accomplished. Being in Atlanta's, obviously the Braves, it's an easy way to put that in. So yeah, I agree. But I also feel like in some ways, because of the home run race of 98 and Bonds and all these other guys with these big chases, I feel like Hank Aaron's kind of been a little bit forgotten by this latest generation. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of focus on annual numbers and these different races and chases. And I feel like you don't hear as much about Hank Aaron as you used to. And I feel like baseball wants to inject him back into the conversation, maybe because of how they feel, maybe because it's just good timing to be like, hey, don't forget about this guy.
Yeah. But I mean, it was incredible. But
yeah. And back to the swing off. I mean, John, no offense. I mean, Randy Arozarena he's had a great 3.5 weeks or 2.5 weeks. But that's who Randy Arozarena is. He'll suck for 8 weeks and he'll be a monster for 2. And that's what you remember. That's what drove the Rays crazy about him, is that he would carry a team for 2 weeks and then disappear for 6.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't think he's a terrible selection for this.
No, he's a guy that's got power, and he's a guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark for sure.
Yep.
So Brent Rooker's no slouch either.
No, I mean, he missed the first one and then hits the next 2 like 5,000 feet. I mean, those 2 are bombs. Yeah.
Aranda's not a bad choice.
And he literally just missed it right off the top of the brick on his second swing, I think it was. So just missed one to make Pete Alonso swing. So, but yeah, I mean, I looked at the lineup coming out and I go, this favors the NL
big time.
Doubt. Yeah.
I mean, Schwarber and Alonso to close it out. I mean, those 2 should beat the 3 from the AL without Stowers doing anything. Like,
right.
That's a tough matchup. You're counting on 4 or 5 home runs from those 2 guys. They're monsters.
Yeah. Kyle Schwarber comes in, takes all 3 pitches yard, last one like from a knee. That was I mean, crazy.
Schwarber has a way with those big moments. I think like back to the WBC, looking at the playoffs, like he has a way of getting that big hit late in the game or to start off a game. It just seems to be Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah. So then Pete Alonso didn't swing. So like that's a big one because now that influences the All-Star game MVP, which obviously kind of has to go to Kyle Schwarber right there, right? I mean, he single-handedly won the game for the NL on those 3 swings. I get it. But if Pete Alonso gets a swing, because in the game, his 3-run homer doesn't mean anything because it was tied. Right. Essentially. So can you give him the MVP? I mean, maybe a home run, 3 RBIs.
I mean, here's where I struggle with this. So they gave Schwarber the MVP because he hit 3 batting practice home runs.
That's fair.
I mean, he didn't do shit in the game, but he hit 3 batting practice home runs.
Yeah.
Okay. This was a 6-6 game before these guys did their swing off. There were guys that did, I mean, Brent Rooker had a 3-run home run in this game to start the comeback.
Right.
And that gets forgotten. You had all these other performances during the game, like actually during the game, that got ignored because Kyle Schwarber teed off on batting practice fastballs.
Well, and Rooker had 2 extra innings.
Yeah, so really Rooker hit 3 home runs in this game then. I mean, with 3 RBIs, that's more than Schwarber had. So really, why isn't Rooker the MVP? I mean, he had a better stat line.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, it's the swing off, the excitement, you got to give it to Schwarber. You got to carry him off the field like it's a big friggin' deal. But I mean, let's be serious. He hit 3 batting practice fastballs out of the ballpark. Cool, dude. Like, awesome.
Fair.
In the meantime, Rooker hit a 3-run bomb off a guy who was actually throwing real stuff.
Right. But if Pete Alonso gets the swing, he's the MVP. No.
Well, I think honestly the MVP was going to go to the last guy standing.
Yeah.
Whoever hit the last one was probably going to win the MVP no matter what.
I had during the swing off, I had this graphic all made, right? and I had Schwarber, Rooker, and Alonso all ready to go, like on top of each other. And then I was just like, okay, delete, boom, post.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was cool. I think it's a good solution for, not burning out pitchers and not ending in a tie, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing. Fans don't want to go to an all-star game, any game for that matter, and see a tie. Right?
No,
this isn't soccer. Like,
no,
we want to see somebody win.
Yeah, you can't leave people, you can't walk out of there with a tie. And it, as much as it's a stupid way to end a game by throwing BP pitches to these guys so you can hit those bombs, it's at least exciting.
Right.
And you don't want to play extra innings because you don't want guys in the field any longer than they have to be. So like I think it's the best option. It just feels stupid to get to a swing off, but it was exciting. And I think that's what MLB was going to. Let's end this game with a bang. Let's make it exciting. Let's give the fans a show. And yeah, it's dumb, but it's the best thing we've got that'll keep people entertained.
Yeah. Brandon,
totally right.
Yeah, Brandon, once it got to the swing off, it was going to come down to who had the most because they won, right? Rooker would have had it if it was the AL. And Michael, this is exactly what this is. It's a hockey shootout, 1,000%.
Yep.
I have no issue with it. Now, as people saw this, a lot of posts I saw going around social media, they wouldn't mind seeing this in a regular season game. Now we're starting to play with a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
Now you're starting to play with home run numbers. You're starting to play with at-bats. You're starting to play with a whole bunch of stuff like that. Now, I honestly, this might be an unpopular opinion. I wouldn't necessarily hate it. But what would happen is wherever you are in the lineup, those are the 3 guys that hit.
Yeah. So if you got the bottom of the order coming up, you're screwed.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, I think that would be the only way that I could see it where it doesn't mess with too many things, if that makes sense.
Could you imagine missing the playoffs by 1 game because you played the Yankees in September and they had Aaron Judge up and you had your catcher up? Fans would friggin' riot.
If that catcher's Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, but that catcher, name another catcher like Cal Raleigh. I don't know. I think it's great for the All-Star game. The game doesn't mean anything. It's an exhibition. You're trying to get people excited about baseball. Do it there. But I don't
And
I don't want to see an actual game that means something end with batting practice, fastball, home run derby.
yep, and that's fair. And this is where I think I didn't put this part in, but a lot of people said like give them 2 extra innings, and if they're still tied, then maybe go to this. So maybe after the 11th or after the 12th, you still don't have a winner, then fine. Okay, like you want to get these guys off the field.
Yeah, you do not want to. I remember the days of how many times we see games go 15, 18 innings. Like, you don't want that.
No. And you're right. I think this level, anybody can hit BP home runs. Yeah. So, but
It's true.
I mean, I get it. I mean, you're then starting to play with the optics of the game, I guess, if you do it during the regular season.
Yeah. Brandon's got an idea too. They can play Jeopardy, and that way John Carter could be league MVP.
Yeah, there's still time to catch them, guys.
There's the lead is
time.
not insurmountable.
No, it is not. But
either way, I think, you know, a cool ending to the All-Star game. It's kind of a stupid gimmicky thing, but it works. It was fun. It was exciting, but it has its place. Schwarber's the MVP because he was the last man standing, although he did hit 3 bombs on 3 swings, so good for him. But, you know, I think this was definitely a better All-Star game than I expected.
Yeah,
in terms of the quality of the play.
Yeah,
and I do want to point out that Paul Skeens got more run support in this game than he's gotten pretty much all season.
I can't, not pretty much, Harrison. Then he has all season.
Yeah, then he has all season.
Yeah, they ought to just settled it by nominating 1 player in each league to face off in a game of bases loaded 2, second season NES.
Forrest, I knew we were friends because that literally is in my NES over there with the TV, and that is like my favorite baseball game of all time.
Yeah,
not bases loaded 1, bases loaded 2. And if you're not playing with Texas and hitting with Deeth, who hits massive bombs, you'll get this reference. Then you're missing out.
Yeah. No Rick Camp home run in the 18th. Yeah, I think MLB is trying to get rid of that one.
Nobody wants that because people are not going to watch it anymore.
No. I mean, heck, you can't even get fans to stay in the ballpark for the whole 9 innings anymore. But
no. All right, we got somebody going for original bases loaded.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And I saw something up here. I think Chad had posted, which I honestly had kind of not paid attention to. There we go. First non-pitcher win MVP without getting hit in the actual game. That's kind of wild. He did nothing in the game and got MVP for the swing off.
Well, that's today's game, wrapped up in a nutshell right there.
Yep.
Live and die by the homer. But
because I'm old and bases loaded 1 is great. Fair.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Forrest, if yeah, you're right. When we get to the Minnesota, we are for sure going to have an epic bases loaded 2 tournament.
Oh, we'll bring it.
Hell yeah, it'll be in my bag.
Yep. But so overall, what are your feelings about it? All-Star week. Overall, in general.
I think that, certainly the ratings for the game looked good. So apparently baseball's continuing to keep those eyes, which I think is good. I thought the home run derby was good. I thought the game was really good. The ending, although gimmicky, was exciting. And I think MLB got out of that what they wanted, which was a kind of a fast-paced, exciting, very watchable game. And, 6 innings, with it being 6-0 after 6, you're kind of thinking, man, this game's going to suck. And then if you turned it off, boy, did you miss a hell of a rally. Ended up being a great game.
Yeah. Yeah. So baseball boy, I think swing off lowly shouldn't be a thing. I think it would be cool to watch extras and see someone hit a walk-off or something. Yeah. Walk-off homer in extra innings is way more exciting than a swing off. I am with you 1,000% there. But
Chad wants us to live stream our bases loaded 2 tournament. We'll see. We'll see what we can do.
Yep. Done.
This is a next summer thing. We're going to go watch some wicked old baseball and play some also wicked old baseball.
Yep. It's going to be awesome. So,
I'm playing MLB Rivals and watching you guys. Nice.
That's incredible.
We got John Temple playing Super Mega Baseball 4. Jeez.
Jesus.
I love it.
Oh, it's awesome. I just need
baseball junkies over here.
I need some Slugfest back in my day.
Oh my God. That game was so terrible, but like so addicting.
It was so awesome.
It was like the worst baseball you'll ever see, but it was so fun.
Yep.
So fun. Or give me back MVP 05. I would play that game to death today.
Yep. All right, let's get into
All right.
some news and stuff from around the league. So, Tampa Bay Rays released this week. If the Rays do indeed make the playoffs, it was announced that they will play their games at Steinbrenner Field. What are your feelings on that?
Can you imagine World Series first pitch being thrown in a minor league ballpark? Like, I mean, can we just picture this? I mean, not that I'm saying the Rays are necessarily World Series favorites, but they certainly could make it. But could you imagine a World Series being played in a 12,000 seat minor league ballpark?
They would have to move it at that point, right?
I-
They would have to.
I don't know how you don't, but at the same time, like if you're the new owner and you want to get Tampa friggin' excited, you got to leave it in Tampa and turn it into like a friggin' tailgate party, big screens in the parking lot, like selling tickets everywhere you can. It would be such a disaster to play a World Series game in a minor league ballpark, but at the same time, it'd be a huge PR thing for Tampa to be able to turn this into like a friggin', tent party.
Yeah, I mean, but MLB also looks at this, right? The last time the Rays made the playoffs, game 1 of the playoffs had less people in the stands than the Oakland A's did on average in their last year in Oakland. Think about that for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Less people in the stands for a playoff game than Oakland had in the stands on average that last year there. It was embarrassing. So they're banking on the fact that, like, yeah, it's cool and all, but no one's going to show up if they make the playoffs anyways.
Yep.
Now, if you get to the ALCS, you get to the World Series, now we're starting to play with people that will travel to go see those series, right? You have your diehard baseball guys that have been to every World Series, that has been to a lot of the playoff games, and they'll travel to see it. Now you're starting to play with the attendance. You have to move it at that point, I think.
I mean, yes, I feel like you have to move it. At the same time, if I'm Tampa, I might even fight to keep it and turn it into a friggin' block party. But yeah, it'd be a struggle to play a World Series game in a minor league ballpark and take it seriously. However, it would certainly be an interesting. Yeah. I heard I saw some the other day. They called it Tropolis, and I was like, okay.
I love that.
I like my ballpark's Tropolis or something like that. I'm like, okay, I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
I can work with that.
Yeah, I'm with you, Leslie. Like, I kind of feel bad for them too, because like they're a decent team. They got pitching, they got young hitting. Like, they're a good team. They're always a solid team.
It's annoying, like they're obnoxiously so.
And Hurricane Milton came at the worst possible timing for this organization. It really did. They were already talking about moving out of Tampa, getting a new stadium deal. That all fell through, and then right in the middle of it, let's just rip the roof right off this thing. Like, literally. I mean, it came at the worst time for the Tampa Bay Rays. I do feel bad for the guys on the field, the coaches, the organization. But I think it's kind of the owner's fault there, and that might be why he's selling it. He's finally feeling the pressure, and he's like, okay, like, I'm done dealing with this headache, because it's just it's becoming way too much. I'm getting pressure from the league. I'm getting pressure from the city. Getting pressure for the fans now. Like,
and Sternberg's what, in his 70s?
I don't pretend.
I think his son is more involved than he is. But either way, like, I'm sure he's looking at this mess in front of him, going, I don't want to spend the next 3 years duking this thing out with St. Pete and Tampa and MLB, and I'm just going to hand the keys to somebody else and wish him luck. And I think you're right, Chad. I think that MLB is going to want to change it. However, at the same time, if you change this thing and 9,000 people show up, you just look stupid. So if I'm MLB, I'm going to pre-sell the hell out of World Series tickets as soon as I think the Rays might be in it, to see if I need to move it. Because you would look so dumb to move it to like Miami and have 9,000 people show up.
Yeah, and I mean, it's possible the Rays get there. The AL is wide open.
And that's a good team.
Yeah.
It's a good team.
We'll get to that in a little bit too, but it's almost time to pull the string on Tampon Bay. Brutal.
Yeah.
Maybe they should play in Williamsport.
Dude.
I mean, I don't know the capacity there, but they have the MLB field there that they, it can't be that big.
You could probably go play at one of the universities in the area. I think is
For sure.
is USF or UCF. One of them's right in Tampa.
Yeah.
They've got a massive campus and a huge ballpark. It probably holds. It might even hold more people. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just it would be challenging to put a World Series team in a market that's not theirs for the game. At the same time, it probably doesn't matter because nobody comes to these games.
Yeah.
And you'd like to believe if they make the World Series, there'd be a good showing, but this is the Rays.
Yeah.
You know, what is it going to take to get people to show up? And I get it. Like, I've spent a lot of time in Tampa. I know Tampa and St. Pete very well. Getting to St. Pete sucks. It's miserable. Nobody wants to go there. St. Pete's beautiful if you live there, but getting there from Tampa is a pain in the ass. You got to go all the way around the bay.
Yeah.
The traffic is brutal. I mean, I went to the ballpark when I was in Tampa earlier this year, and that drive is miserable. It's 35 minutes with no traffic. It sucks. It sucks. Getting to St. Pete sucks.
Yeah.
And people just don't want to go. I mean, they're drawing a little bit less right now than they were last year. Obviously, smaller ballpark, but they're not off by a lot.
No. Have their home games in the DR. Yeah, that'd be incredible.
That would the DR would probably go nuts and sell out.
Yeah, crazy. All right.
Okay, John saying USF is in Tampa. I knew this was one of those big schools right there.
Yeah. And Chad says it's 3,200.
3,200.
So, yeah.
I've drove by their ballpark because we stayed just outside of Tampa, just off the USF campus. Their ballpark looks huge from the outside, but it's probably tons of training facility and then a ballpark.
All right. Well, let's dive into this one because this is going to stir up a lot of feelings, I feel. Julio Urias was slated to be reinstated today. I don't know if he's officially reinstated yet, but it was today that he was supposed to be reinstated. He plans to continue his MLB career. This is a statement released by Scott Boras. That being said, will any team actually sign him, or will he and should he get the Trevor Bauer treatment?
I mean, I hope somebody signs him just so we can let Trevor Bauer melt down. Here's my conspiracy theory for a moment. MLB is gonna call ownership groups and say, do not sign this guy, because the minute you sign this guy, you open yourself up to get sued by Trevor Bauer. And Trevor Bauer would 1,000% win because he was not convicted where Julio Urias was. If you are MLB, you cannot allow Julio Urias to play in baseball ever again.
So why reinstate him then?
Because you have to. Because when you suspended him, you left it open-ended. And if they should have just shut the door on him then. But you cannot let this guy come back into baseball, because if you do, Trevor Bauer will be on your doorstep serving you papers, and he will walk away with a huge bag of cash. Because you'll never be able to justify why he's playing and Bauer's not. And as much as Boras is talking about, all this stuff, Boras is sitting there hoping this guy gets signed, because it will be a nightmare for MLB if he does.
Yeah. Yeah, John, Urias was actually guilty. Bauer wasn't, but has all the extra baggage.
Well, I mean, Julio Urias isn't baggage free, but he's also not the circus that is Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
But I mean, Bauer's been sitting in the background waiting for the moment to sue MLB. This would be it. And there's no way he wouldn't win.
Yeah. Yeah. Bauer got it because of his mouth and antics. 1,000% we're with you, Brandon. Say what you want about Bauer and his mouth, but if Urias gets signed, you can't say he was wrong about being blackballed. And you guys are all hitting the nail on the head.
1,000% right.
Yeah, we're with you.
This is MLB's worst nightmare, having to reinstate this guy. MLB was hoping that he wouldn't meet all the criteria and they could just kick the can down the road as long as possible in hopes that Trevor Bauer would blow his arm out and disappear. But he hasn't. He's hanging on. And I do believe, because Boras is involved with both of them, I do believe Bauer has been hanging on as long as he had in Mexico and then Japan, where the hell he is now, solely waiting for this moment, because he knows what it means. If he can still prove that he is an active pitcher and Urias gets signed, the bag is his.
Yeah.
And I believe Boras is playing the middle here. He's going to try to get Urias signed. He's going to try to get Bauer his money. And this is going to get fun, because it'll be a Trevor Bauer meltdown. But no, I don't think anybody touches him. I don't think anybody can touch him. I don't think any fan base would accept him coming in. I don't think any front office could justify bringing him in. I think that he will just quietly disappear into irrelevance. But if he does get signed, look out, because fireworks will go off.
Yeah. All of that aside, all the off the field stuff aside, is there a team that would benefit from his services and would be almost willing to kind of take it on? Because would it affect the team much? No, it wouldn't affect the team much. It would just affect the league, right?
I mean, obviously the team is going to get the attention from their fan base and the national media and all of that.
I mean,
but
true.
With that comes some level of media circus. But I mean, Urias was in 2021, the guy won 20 games with a sub-3 ERA. 2022, he won 17 games with a 2.16 ERA. 2023, he looked awful.
Mm-hmm.
He had nearly 5 ERA and won 11 games because he was on a team that scored a bunch of runs.
Well,
I absolutely do think there are teams that would benefit from Julio Urias. I mean, you can go up and down the league. Who couldn't benefit from a left-handed guy who's got, 20-win stuff, who's had a couple of years off, worth, or year and a half off worth the rest. That could be attractive. I think there's a lot of teams that could benefit from a guy like that. I think there's also, I think most teams are also going to be scared to death to sign him because of the blowback.
Yeah, I feel you. I think because this Trevor Bauer stuff has been so public, this would be just as public, if not more, because now you got two guys barking. You got Urias and Bauer barking, and it comes times two.
Yep.
And you are going to hear it from your fan base, no matter what fan base you think. Like, even if they sign in Philly, say what we want about the Phillies fans, about being rowdy, I don't think they would really like it either. I think all MLB fans could probably get, no matter what team you follow, could get behind, I don't want this guy on my team.
Yeah. And this guy, I mean, let's not forget, like this was an incident right outside of one of the stadiums. He got charged with spousal battery, domestic battery, false imprisonment, assault. I mean, he did some bad stuff. This is not a good guy. He had a history of allegations before that. Like, this isn't a good dude. And he wasn't a good dude before. He just finally was stupid enough to do it where everybody could see it. I don't see how anybody can justify to their fan base and put their head on the pillow at night that signing him is a good thing for your clubhouse and your ball club.
Forrest.
Take a knee, Forrest. Take a knee.
Yeah, Colin Kaepernick might play in the MLB before Bauer. Yeah, but at the same time, Urias that good? He seemed great early on, and then who knows? I mean, you're right. Yeah, it would still be a question mark too. It's not like you are definitely going to get a Cy Young guy, right?
No.
And this is a great point. It would 1,000% have a not so great effect on the locker room for sure. A guy like that walks in, the rest of the locker room takes notice for sure. That's a great point, Jeff.
And there's going to be guys who feel very strongly about domestic violence, and I bet it's a lot of those guys who are not going to welcome him,
right?
And are going to tell him to go shit in his hat. And this is a dude who's not going to have a lot of friends. He's going to be on an island. Guys are going to ignore him. I mean, I don't see how you can bring this guy into a clubhouse and expect a clubhouse to be like, "Oh, Julio, we love the fact you're here." Yeah. They're going to tell this guy he's a piece of crap because he is.
Right.
I mean, and his actions have proven it. And I will say, we talked about the fact like NHL is a big game of honor and integrity. MLB, these guys police themselves pretty well in the clubhouse, and they don't put up with guys like this.
Right. No,
this is a guy who would not be welcome. And I'm sure you got a lot of managers and a lot of front office people who are aware of that, who are just going to say, "Cool, he's back," but no thanks.
Yeah.
But man, I would love to see him signed just so we can see the explosion from Bauer, because that would be theater.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that would be a full show, like just going over what he blows up about. But
yeah, and if you remember, we talked about Bauer was threatening a lawsuit earlier this year, and there were legal professionals providing feedback saying MLB would lose that now. Like if he was to sue them for wrongful termination and all kinds of other stuff, like he'd win now based on the evidence. the shortening of his suspension, the fact that he can't get signed, the fact he can't get calls back, what that cost him. Like, he'd win a several $100 million settlement today.
Yeah.
You do this and forget about it.
Oh yeah, automatic win for sure.
You've never heard that before, Forrest?
Yeah. Well,
wow.
You're not going to have to worry about him shitting in his own hat. I think his teammates would do it for him. But yeah. I mean, brutal. But
yeah, Forrest, you're welcome. You can hang on to that one. I expect to see a post talking about that at some point.
Oh yeah, and I also saw you say something about Wicked Old Baseball. So I better see you change your name from Baseball History Dork to Wicked Old Baseball. But anyway,
I expect your stories to be about Wicked Old Baseball from now on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on from this train wreck.
So last thing on Julio Urias, you're right. He's expected to be reinstated, but nothing's happened yet. The league office has not said a word.
Oh, okay.
It's expected he will be reinstated. He's supposed to be, but at this point, no action's been taken.
Yeah. This is a good question, Chad. I think they could. This could be something they touch on in the new CBA coming up. They could toughen up on it even more. The NFL has done it over years. I think this could be it. Like, you get in off the field trouble, domestic violence, you're done. Like, no chance for reinstatement. You're done. They might change the language there.
Yeah. So Julio Urias got picked up in MLB's new domestic violence language from the last CBA when they toughen the penalties. But I think Chad's right. I think given the situation that they're in, they're going to have to look at toughening that up. And I think, honestly, when you go around the league, I think a lot of owners and front offices would say, if a guy gets a DV charge, there's no chance we're ever signing him. Just cut these guys loose. Just send them home.
Yep.
The NFL did the same thing because that's what the owner said. It doesn't matter if you reinstate these guys. We're never going to sign them. Yep. Never in a million years. So you might as well just kick them out for life.
Yeah.
Because we won't touch them.
And it's not like there's lack of talent in the minors ready to come up to replace them, because there's plenty of guys.
Exactly.
The next guy up. Give somebody else that's deserving a shot. Unless
your name is Paul Skeens or Tariq Schoolboy, you're not valuable enough where teams are going to put up with that.
Right.
And I like John's suggestion, go Full Metal Jacket and, have a sock party in his honor. You can either fill that sock with soap or oranges or quarters. It's up to you. But
yeah, crazy. All right, let's get into second half predictions, preview, just stuff. Yep. So Harrison sent this to me the other day, and this was, eye-opening for me. This is the hardest remaining strength of schedule to the easiest. This was a graphic you saw on Instagram, Facebook, somewhere?
Yeah, we found a graphic similar to it. I think maybe before the season started, but this is just the remaining part of the season, which this is pretty telling as to how we think these playoff races are going to go.
Yeah. So we got our Boston Red Sox at the top with the hardest schedule. We've kind of been talking about that coming out of the break, with the Chicago Cubs with the easiest at 30. So what are your thoughts, like, kind of looking at the races, looking at this remaining strength of schedule? What are your thoughts kind of going forward here in the second half? Do we want to start and go division by division here?
Yeah, I think we go division by division. Let's start in the NL, because we always start in the AL.
Okay.
I think you look out in the NL West, and you have what should be, I think, a fun remaining race there, because you have, you've got San Diego at 23rd. So they're going to have a relatively easy strength of schedule. And we were talking about the fact that the Padres have faded a little bit. Well, they faded a little bit because they had a really, really hard June and July. So, I went back to look at their schedule. They had a hard June and July with a lot of road games against a lot of good teams.
Yeah.
Whereas other teams had a much easier go of it. San Fran's got a harder schedule than them. That's going to be challenging because San Fran's already scuffling. Mm-hmm. San Fran did have they have had a tough schedule since Devers got there. So I think you're seeing them, they're struggling against better teams. That's kind of what you would expect. But what's more concerning about the NL West is the Colorado Rockies have the 5th hardest schedule remaining, and they barely won any games in the first half.
But does that go by, like, it depends on how they rated this, though. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's got a better record than them. So, it's hard to, you know what I mean? You can't really put them any higher than that, because all the teams are hard that you're playing.
Well, yeah, strength of schedule is looking solely at how good are the teams you're going to play. Now, it has nothing to do with your performance. It's looking solely at who's on your schedule and how good are they.
Okay.
So what this is saying is the Rockies have the 5th hardest schedule remaining in terms of who they're going to play.
Gotcha.
And you look at their schedule, and their schedule looks like the Red Sox. It is a gauntlet of top teams.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, you got the Dodgers who are 27th. So I think it's safe to say NL West, you're probably going to see similar standings. Dodgers are going to win that division. They should comfortably walk away. The Padres are going to kind of hang on behind them. The Giants are likely going to fade. Arizona is a wild card. They're kind of with the Giants, middle of the pack. They're so hurt, it probably doesn't matter. So I think the NL West is going to finish basically the way it is now. Largely, it's going to be LA, San Diego, San Francisco, Arizona, and Colorado.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it ends that way. I'm intrigued by my Diamondbacks, as I say every show pretty much.
Yeah,
they're again middle of the road here, but they're hurt. I think my intrigue kind of comes around July 31st and what they decide to do. Do they just ride this out and see if they can catch a hot streak? Do they sell, and get some pieces back for Gallen and Kelly and Suarez? I don't know. It's been quiet out of that camp, which it tends to be. We didn't even know Corbin Burns was an option for Arizona until he signed.
Yeah, no, there's not even conversation about it. He just all of a sudden they announced the signing and we were like, what? Where'd that come from?
Yeah. So for me, I don't think we're going to hear anything out of that camp until something happens.
That's a quiet group. That's what Mike Hazen, is that the GM?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mike Hazen's an old Theo Epstein guy. You don't talk about anything till it's real.
Yeah. So it's hard. I think they stand pat. I don't think they really kind of go anywhere. I'm with you. I think the NL West kind of stays. I think we'll see some fluctuation throughout the second half, but I think it irons out to where it is right now. That makes sense.
Yep. So NL Central, I think we saw the Cubs and Brewers start to have that gap close. The Cubs run a tough stretch of their schedule. The Cubs now have the easiest remaining schedule, which is frightening to think. Whereas the Brewers are on the other side, they're in the top 10. So I think you're going to see the Cubs begin to walk away, or maybe even run away with that division. You're going to see that gap widen. Chicago's going to walk away. The Brewers, probably can still hang around for a playoff spot, but it's going to be a fight. Cincinnati, they're done. Second hardest schedule remaining. They've had a nice little run lately, but they're not going to be able to maintain that unless they get hot at the right time. And then St. Louis, they're likely going to be kind of hanging around in that second or third spot, maybe even a wild card team. And that's where this is, as we've talked about, this is hard for the Cardinals. How do you decide what to do at the trade deadline? You're in it right now. You've got a schedule that's manageable the rest of the way. You've been in the playoff hunt really all year. What do you do? Are you a buyer? Are you a seller? Do you sit tight and see what happens? Do you take the opportunity to dump Arenado's contract if there's an opportunity? If you're John Mozeliak, this is his last go round. This is his final tour of duty. What are you going to leave Chaim Bloom? Do you want to empty this thing and build in some prospects, or do you want to make a run? And I think that's going to be a tough decision given where they sit. They are literally about as bubble can get.
Yeah, they might be the bubbliest team on this, in the league right now.
The bubbliest. That's now a term.
Yeah, I don't. You know what I mean? I'm with you. I don't know. They're even more bubble than the Diamondbacks.
Yeah,
because they have a healthy team. They're sitting at 51 and I just lost it. Where'd it go? 51 and 46.
They're a game and a half out in the wild card.
Yeah, I think they just run with it. I really do. So I think they stand pat. Maybe they do pick up a piece at the deadline that doesn't affect their team going forward.
Yeah, you're not going to give up anything major because you don't want to change the direction for Chaim Bloom, who's waiting in the wings.
Right.
Bubbly as John likes it.
Yeah. So I think I'm with you there. I think they might, get a couple pieces, rental pieces, and see what they got. Why not? If I'm a GM, it's my last year. Sure.
Well, and that's I honestly believe that the Cardinals are going to tell Mozeliak, it's your last rodeo. You do what you need to do. Mozeliak's been a great soldier for them over a long period of time. I think they're going to give him the opportunity to do what he feels is right. You want to make a run, let's make a run.
Yeah.
If you want to fold it up and give Heim Bloom a clean slate, go for it. But I think they're going to give him the respect to make that call.
Yeah.
So I think this division could be interesting in terms of who finishes second. I think the Brewers are going to be there. I think the Cardinals are going to be right on their heels, if not potentially overtaking them based on how this plays out. Obviously, nobody cares about the Reds are going to struggle. The Pirates are the Pirates.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. Although I will say, if I'm Paul Skeens, I like seeing this. Maybe I'll get a few wins.
Facts. Now, it is interesting because the Brewers are up in the wild card by 4 games. I mean, they're sitting pretty comfortable in that wild card position. They do have a little bit of a hard schedule, so it'll be interesting if that race really does tighten up there. Or the Brewers keep playing Brewers baseball and they get to the playoffs and lose in the first round like they do every year. So,
yeah, I mean, I will say they're 1 game behind the Cubs. The Cubs had one of the hardest first half schedules. The Brewers had one of the easier, and they're 1 game apart. I think when you flip that dynamic, I just think the Brewers get left in the dust.
Yep.
And then they're left fighting like hell for a playoff spot, which, may be a stretch. They're going to have to play really good baseball in the second half.
Yeah.
To hang onto their spot. And they've got teams behind them like the Cardinals who are going to have a much easier path.
Yep. I'm with you. All right. NL East here.
NL East. So NL East, I think, is still NL East is a little strange because you've got the Braves who are sitting middle of the pack. Fine. Phillies are sitting middle of the pack. Mets are sitting middle of the pack. And then the Nationals and Marlins are in rough shape because their schedules actually get harder. So I think you've got the Phillies and Mets who are basically, 12 and 14. They're kind of sitting right next to each other. I think that continues to just be a battle down the stretch for those 2 teams. The Braves had a harder first half schedule than they have a second half schedule. The Braves have 30 days to turn this thing around before they're so dead it won't matter.
I think they're already so dead it doesn't matter. I don't think they have a shot, man. I know that you've been kind of high on them all year. I have not. Something is off in Atlanta. I can't put my thumb on it, but they just don't look like the Atlanta Braves that we thought they were going to be. Something is going on there. They just look off.
They've lost games. I mean, they're based on their expected win-loss. They're 6 games behind where they should be.
Yeah.
That was like 10 games behind where they should have been a week ago. They are absolutely lost. Now, granted, they have shown some signs lately that, we've seen Sean Murphy break out of his slump. Like, we've seen some signs that guys are coming around, but they need to figure it out quick. They need to start piling up wins fast. And if there's a team that's got the talent to do it, it's the Braves. But they have proven this year they just do not have the intestinal fortitude to pick themselves up and go win a game when they have to. They just can't. They can't do it. They just can't do it.
I mean, 11 games below 500. When's the last time we've said Braves and 11 games below 500?
It's been a long time. It's been a very long time since this team was sitting in the spot that it's sitting in. Now, granted, they come out of the break and they are home for the Yankees, home for the Giants. They go on the road to the Rangers. They go on the road to KC. Then they go on the road to the Reds.
It's not exactly cakewalk.
Not a cakewalk. Then they come home for the Brewers. Then they've got the Marlins. Then they got the Mets. Then they got the Guardians. Then they got the White Sox. Then they got the Mets, the Marlins, the Phillies. They do have some easy competition sprinkled in there, but they do still have some interdivisional matchups they have to win. Like, you have to beat the Mets. You have to beat the Phillies. Like, you can't beat everybody else and hope that's going to be good enough. Like, you have to go in and be able to beat these guys. And that's where I think the Braves are going to fall short, is that they're not going to be able to pile up enough wins against the guys they've got to beat. Because you beat the White Sox, but the Phillies and Mets win. Who cares? It didn't get you anywhere. You beat the Phillies head to head. That's a game. You do that a few times, all of a sudden those standings look a lot different.
Yeah,
but you have to go win those games.
You have to sweep the Marlins.
If you don't, it's done. Like, you have to win every game you're supposed to win going forward.
Yeah.
So I think this team, the margin for error for this team is basically gone. They have a short window here to figure it out. Do they have the talent? Absolutely. Can they do it? I don't think this team, for whatever reason, has their heads on right.
Yeah.
Something's not right there.
I'm with you.
And I do still question if they won't potentially look to sell off a piece or two if there's an opportunity.
I think Ozuna could be gone. I think he's the piece that a team will trade for.
They are very disappointed in the performance of Michael Harris. Maybe they'll look to move Harris.
Yep.
I mean, when Austin Riley went out of that game last week, I mean, Braves fans were losing their mind thinking he got pulled because he was going to get traded.
Yeah.
You know, that's where Braves fans are sitting. Like, they're still hopeful, but they know that this could go bad fast.
2017, John says, was the last time they were 11 games under 500.
Yeah, it's not good for them. So I think this division still belongs to the Phillies. I think the Mets have proven that their pitching can't hold up, and they've fallen back some.
Yep.
But I mean, these are two teams that are neck and neck coming out of the All-Star break, and are gonna be battling all the way down the stretch.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily disagree with you here, Chad Edwards. It's a manager problem in Atlanta.
It seems it. Snitker seems like he's just checked out, and the guys are not responding to him.
Yep.
And actually, there's a lot of people that were wondering if he was going to come out of the All-Star break still the manager.
Yeah.
Because apparently reports out of Atlanta are mixed. A lot of people say that Anthopoulos is basically pissed and wants heads.
I mean, we thought when Acuna came back and all that stuff that Snitker was going to be gone.
Yeah.
You know, Braves were already in a downward trend there when Acuna came back. Acuna might have ironically saved his job for the hot streak that he went on. But
yeah, I mean, there's certainly a reality that this is exactly what he needed to, you know, get back in the good graces of the the front office.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think NL East, we're going to see more of the same. It's going to be a battle of the Phillies and Mets right down the stretch.
I agree. All right, AL West. Let's get to the Mariners out there.
AL West. So the Mariners are at 21. The Astros are at 18. Not much of a spread there. I do think you're going to continue to see the Astros just do what the Astros do. You're going to see the Mariners do what the Mariners do and continue to fight, but be wildly inconsistent, which drives John Temple insane. And I understand it. You know, the Angels have a brutal schedule. Texas has a brutal schedule. You know, there's nobody that's going to make a run to try to catch them. The A's are middle of the pack, and they've struggled already with where they're at. So it's a 2-team race, as it has been. It's likely going to be the Astros over the Mariners. The Mariners have to take advantage of having a slightly easier schedule to try to fight their way into a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Which they're there now. But they don't have a huge lead. So the Mariners have some work ahead of them. The Astros, I think, are going to continue to do what they do, which is just win the division every friggin' year.
Yeah. So, I mean, I agree with you. I think the Mariners play well enough to get at least a wild card spot. I don't think they have a shot at the division. I mean, we say it every show. It's the Astros division until it's not. I mean, every time we think we're counting the Astros out, that's like, well, they just went on a 20-game win streak and they can't seem to get out. And Framber Valdez throws another 8 innings of 2-hit ball. So it's like you just can't count them out.
And then you've had the emergence of Hunter Brown this year, which is just,
yeah,
he's backfilling the old Verlander role. Yeah, the big, strong, gas throwing righty. They just continue to put the right pieces in. And by the way, you haven't had Yordan Alvarez for a big chunk of the season, and yet you're still beating all the teams you need to. So
yeah,
they're only going to get better as the season goes on.
If that guy gets back, oh my God, it's crazy.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah,
good luck.
All right.
AL Central. This is the entire AL Central has an easy schedule. You've got KC at 29, Minnesota at 28, Guardians at 25, Detroit's at 24. I mean, the whole NL Central is sitting there with an easy schedule.
AL Central.
I'm sorry, AL Central. And the sad part is, as difficult a schedule as they all had in the first half, the Tigers are still running away.
Yeah.
So like I saw this, I'm like, oh, there's hope for KC and there's hope for the Guardians. And then I looked up and go, oh no, never mind. No, that hope is absolutely smashed. If you're 12 games back now and the Tigers are going to have an easier schedule, good luck. And then the White Sox have the third hardest schedule. They're just going to continue to get their heads kicked in.
Yeah, they might be battling the Rockies here pretty soon. But I think it's the Tigers division. I think the Tigers could get a 15+ game lead here. I really do.
It's a runaway. They're going to clinch this thing in probably very early September.
Yeah, if not August at this point.
I wouldn't even rule out at the end of August, but it should be they should just run away and hide.
I mean, they're already 11 and a half games up in the division. That's wild. No one's catching them.
Yeah, no, this is a mid to high teens division win.
Yeah.
You can maybe even see 20 games. I mean, the Guardians have problems. The Royals have wicked offensive problems. They can't score runs to save their lives. They get the third lowest scoring. They get the best overall pitching in baseball, the third lowest scoring offense in baseball.
Now, how are you feeling about the Twins for a wild card spot?
I mean, I think that's the only hope for these teams is that, they can stay in the wild card. They're what, 4 and 4.5. So they're 4 and 4.5 games back.
All three of them.
Yeah, all three of them. I mean, they're all just bunched together. The division is over. I think that they will be able. I think they'll hang around in the wild card, and only because you've got teams sitting in wild card spots right now that have very difficult schedules from the AL East.
Yeah.
So I think the only saving grace for the Twins, Royals, and Guardians is the fact that the guys currently sitting in the wild card spots, except for the Mariners, have harder schedules.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I look at the other teams sitting in the wild card spots, even with the strength of schedule, and I don't know if they can leapfrog them. You got Yankees, Red Sox, Rays, and Mariners, right?
Yep.
And those guys are all within 1.5 games getting into the wild card. So, or they're already in the wild card spot. So, yeah, I mean, that's like 6 games you got to make up to get to the Yankees, who are 2 up in the wild card, So it's like, yeah, can there be shuffling in there? Of course, a team can get cold, team can get hot, but I think there's just too much to kind of leapfrog for them to sneak in. Now, last year we said, I don't know how 3 teams from the AL Central got into the playoffs, and they did. So, I mean, who am I? But I don't know. I look at how those other teams are playing right now that are either sitting in the wild card spot or a game and a half out. And I don't know if the Twins quite have it. And that's banking that they stay healthy the rest of the season, which is you're banking on a lot.
You are. And most of these teams have roughly 65-ish games left. Making up 4 or 5 games in only 65 games doesn't sound like a lot. It's a lot. Like, that's a lot of games. You're gonna be 5 games better than the guy ahead of you. So if those guys are all play 500 ball, they go 32 and 32. You've got to be 5 better. You got to go 37 and 27.
Yeah.
You got to go 10 games over 500 the remainder of the way, just to tie.
Right.
Now those teams aren't going to go 500. They're probably going to play 600 ball. So now you've got to go 42 and 22.
Right.
And that's a lot. Like, that's a big gap to make up. So I think it is challenging. And, so let's jump to the AL East. I think the AL East is wide open. Red Sox have the hardest schedule. We knew that. The Red Sox will fade. There's no way the Red Sox stay in the wild card with the schedule they have in front of them. They open up the second half they go to the Cubs, the Phillies, they come home for the Dodgers, they go back out to the Twins. They then come home for the Astros, home for the Royals, out to the Padres, out to the Astros, home for the Marlins, home for the Orioles, out to the Yankees, out to the Orioles, home for the Pirates, and that just gets them through the end of August. The Red Sox are not going to remain a wild card team. I would suspect they're going to fade and finish probably 4th in that division. But I think the AL East is wide open. Toronto's 11th. The Yankees are 20th. The Rays are 19th. It is going to be a 3-team race to win the AL East, with whoever doesn't win falling into the wild card spot.
Yeah. Now, the only hope, and this is me being completely optimistic, I think the only hope that the Red Sox have is if they actually pull the trigger on a deadline deal.
Yes. This is assuming no trades.
Yes. Now, if they can solidify another starting pitching, they can solidify a Helsley in the back end of that bullpen with Chapman. Now we're talking that we could possibly stay in the race. But as we stand right now, as much as I love my Red Sox and I love how they're playing, that's not an easy schedule. Do you have winnable series in there? Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
But I mean, those first 3 weeks are yikes.
I mean, it's quite possible in those first 3 weeks that, you could easily lose 10 plus games. I mean, easily lose 10
Easy.
plus games. You could
Easy.
easily go 6-10, 5-10 in that stretch.
Yep.
Easy. And all of a sudden you're looking up going, what the hell happened?
Yep.
So I think the Red Sox will fade out. I think it's a 3-team battle between the Blue Jays, the Rays, and the Yankees. I think one of those teams wins the AL East. The other two fall into wild card spots. The Mariners probably grab a wild card spot, and that's it. Your AL is going to be, Houston. It's going to be the Tigers. It's going to be an AL East winner. It's going to be 2 AL East wild cards, and it's going to be the Mariners. So it's Houston, Detroit, New York, Tampa Bay, Toronto, Seattle. That's probably your AL.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. As much as I hate it, I don't disagree with it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, just and again, like if you see some teams go make some big deals, that obviously changes a lot of things there. But
yeah,
given where we sit right now, I think that's where teams are.
Yeah. Well, if only GMs listened to this podcast and took our advice and made their teams better.
I know.
But anyways.
Oh well.
All right. So, which team is in the best shape to win the World Series? And who do you all got in the chat?
I mean, my 2 favorites in the AL right now are Detroit and Houston. Those are the 2 teams I would pick to be in the ALCS. And honestly, for me, it's a flip a coin who wins. I like the Astros experience. I like the Tigers' youth and talent. In the NL, I like the Cubs and the Dodgers in the NLCS. Again, flip a coin for me on those 2. But I honestly think this is a Chicago-Houston World Series if I had to pick right now. I really want it to be a Chicago-Detroit, which MLB would hate. They would hate those markets being in it, but too bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Cubs fans, that's not a bad market to have. Detroit's not a good market to have.
No. I'm with you with Chicago. I think Chicago is kind of rising to the cream of the crop there in the NL with all the Dodgers injuries. And it's proving that it's hard to repeat, right? We haven't had a repeat winner since 2000, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, for the Dodgers to get back there and do it, they would have to get healthy. They'd have to go on a run. There's a lot of things that the Dodgers need to have fall in place for them to get back there. Can they? Absolutely. They can. I know what the Dodgers roster looks like. I get it. But I think it's the Cubs in the NL. I'm with you there. I'm going to go. I'm probably going to lean with Chad and go with Detroit there. I think they just are easily the best team in the AL, in an AL that's not terribly strong overall.
Yep.
Yeah, the Yankees were last to repeat in 2000. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, I mean, it's been 25 years since the repeat, but it's hard to repeat in baseball. Too much can happen.
It's a long season. Lots of things can happen.
Yeah.
And and John, I think you're right. If the Mariners can make it, they're danger. The Mariners are a dangerous team in a 5 or 7 game series.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a dangerous team in a 3-game series because if you can just break through, you can take them out quick. But if you've got to see their pitching over and over and over again, they are going to get you.
Yep.
And that's a tough matchup. Now, I will say when you look across the playoff teams, the Dodgers are 22-23 against teams greater than 500 or better than 500. They're not great against great teams. They've been 500, which I think in most cases, if you can beat the teams you're supposed to beat, 500 against the better teams in the league will get you there. Yeah. The Cubs are 27-28. The Padres are 18-31. You've got the Phillies who are 25-27. The Astros are 28-19. The Astros feast on good teams.
Yep.
And they play down to bad teams. That's always been their problem. And then you've got the Tigers who are 24-21 against teams better than 500. So Houston to me is still an extremely dangerous team because they rise to the occasion. I worry about the Tigers because they're still so young. They're still inexperienced. They had a really tough go in the playoffs last year. I think that they've got some experience now. They've added some pieces that help, but I still question experience over talent.
Because
the Astros just, it doesn't matter who you are, they will stand up and go blow for blow with anybody.
Yep.
Which drives me insane. I hate picking the Astros. I really do.
Yep. But again, it's them until it's not.
It's exactly. It's like, we enjoyed all the years of the Patriots. They were in the AFC Championship game every friggin' year.
Yep.
Here's the Astros doing the same thing.
Yep.
And we hate them for the same reason everybody hated the Patriots.
Yep.
So.
Yep. All right. Before we end the show, we are back. In case you didn't get enough trivia last night, guys, we got some MLB trivia for you to end the show. Now, these are just random generic trivia questions that I found and researched that I thought I would ask all of you. So here we go.
Yeah. Chat, please help.
Yes. All right. First one we got here. Who had the first hit and first home run in Arizona Diamondbacks history? These were done separately, so it wasn't the same hit.
So going back to the early days of the Diamondbacks, you had guys like Matt Williams, Mark Grace.
Neither of them.
Early D-backs. Yeah, John's right there with me, Matt Williams.
Yeah, it's not Matt Williams.
Womack, Gonzalez. He also had some random guy. Chad's with me on Womack. Jeez, guys.
So this guy played from 98 to 06 for Arizona.
Finley's a good guess. Is it Finley?
It's not Finley.
Oh, man.
For Arizona, for Philly, the Rays, the Yankees for a year, and then back to the Rays.
This is I know the answer. I wonder if chat will get it. I'll put it in the private chat.
I already know that you got it. I heard the light bulb ding. Yeah.
As soon as you said Rays, I'm like, oh, I know who this is.
Yeah, not Jay Bell, not Council.
We'll give Chad a few more seconds and I'll give the answer. As soon as you said the Rays, I'm like, I know who this is.
You got the 20-second timer, Harrison?
Oh no, but I should get it back. I should get it out.
No, you're good.
No, I'd love to see Chad get these.
Gerald Williams. It's a good guess. It's not him.
That is a good guess. Corner infielder. White guy.
First baseman.
Was he in Arizona for long?
He was there from 98 and then looks like traded in 2000.
Okay, so yeah, didn't stay there very long.
So, I mean, maybe I don't know what we're going there.
All right, Chad's got it.
Yeah, Chad's got it. It is Travis Lee. Yeah, Travis Lee. Crazy. I did not know that. But
I did not either. And honestly, like as you saw, he's not a guy any of us would have guessed.
Yeah.
To be the guy that had those milestones, but a good player for a number of years.
Yeah.
Kind of gets forgotten about.
Yep. All right. It took 24 years, but who was the first right-handed batter to hit a ball into McCovey Cove in Oracle Park history?
This was last year, right?
Yeah. Because we were just talking about it on the podcast that no one had ever done it. And then literally like 3 days later, the guy does it. And we're like, huh.
Yeah. Chad, once you said corner infield white guy, I got it. Yeah, I'm here to provide trivia and entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who this is. This was last year. And it was. We literally said it, and like 2 or 3 nights later, he did it.
Yeah, we're just like, okay.
I remember you getting a message from you like, dude, somebody listens to this pod.
Yeah,
somebody knows what we talk about.
Yeah. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah, current Giant on the team this year, becoming one of their better hitters. I mean, he's had a couple really good seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, no one talks about him. He's good.
No, I mean, every time I turn... Yeah, okay, John Carter got it. Every time I turn the Giants game on, he's done something.
Yeah, it is Helio Ramos. Yeah, it was just so funny because Harrison and I were like... I think we were like looking it up or we were talking about McCovey Cove somehow.
Yeah, we couldn't
I
believe
don't even remember. And I looked at it real quick and it was like no right-handed batter had done it. And I think Sean was like, yeah, because it would be an absolute tank for an opposite field hitter to do
It
it.
is a bomb. Like, that is true.
Yeah.
It's a bomb.
Opposite field. Then I'm like, well, if you sneak one down around the pole, it's not as far as you would think it was. And sure as shit, he gets up 3 nights later and does it. And we're like, all right.
It wraps it around the pole and dunks it in the water.
Yeah. We're just like, all right.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I remember how weird that was.
Yeah. All right. Here is the next one. Byron Buxton has hit for the most recent cycle, doing it last week. But however, which 2 MLB stadiums have seen the most cycles with 18 each?
So, like, would Yankee Stadium count, or is it because it's a new stadium, it doesn't take the history with it?
Yankee Stadium would count, but it's
Okay.
not Yankee Stadium.
I mean, I know the Red Sox have hit a number of cycles. Is it Fenway?
Fenway's one.
Okay. I mean, I would think, Chase Field and Coors. Those are good guesses.
Coors is the other.
Oh, is Coors the other, really? I mean, I guess
Yeah.
that makes sense. That outfield is so big.
And it's only because I have purple and black on the screen,
Oh,
Harrison.
that was so dumb. How did apparently I'm like out of the trivia.
It's been a while since I've done these. Remember,
Boy,
the
oh boy.
background's always a clue.
Oh, that was dumb.
Yeah, so Coors and Fenway Park, 18 each, which is pretty crazy.
That's a lot of cycles.
Yeah. I mean, Fenway Park's been here since
Well,
1776 when Jefferson signed the Declaration of
Yeah,
Independence.
I'm pretty sure when the Pilgrims landed, it was already here.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Might have been the first structure in place.
Yeah.
And then Coors Field. Yeah, I totally should have gotten that one from the color. But Coors Field makes sense. It's a huge ball. It's a huge outfield.
Even I can
hit for the cycle of Coors.
Oh, the old Marlins Park was pretty big and had some big
yeah.
alleys. That's a good guess too.
You mean like the old like Pro Player Stadium days? That hideous teal wall and the goofy scoreboard?
Was it Joe Robbie, then Pro Player?
Yeah, because they changed the naming rights. It was the same ballpark, but
yeah,
because Pro Players where they shared it with the Dolphins when it was Joe Robbie, I think. That it's like the Philly hat last night.
Yeah.
John, I was so glad when you called out the hat because I'm watching going, oh my God, Nick, like, could you be any less subtle?
Yeah. Just like,
but I don't know how many people caught on to the fact that he literally shoved his hat in the camera.
Yeah. Man. All right. Here is the next one. We all know that Jim Joyce cost Armando Galarraga history by making the wrong call at first base. But who was the batter that was called safe at first and felt bad for running it out?
Oh my God. My first reaction was like Sean Casey, but I know it wasn't Sean Casey. Oh my God, who was it? I can replay the play in my head. I can't remember who the runner was.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start leaning towards these like indirect trivia questions because obviously the focus isn't on the runner. It's on Jim Joyce and Armando Galarraga. But who was the batter?
They were playing Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
And this isn't really a household name.
I was going to say it wasn't one of their big guys. It was the guy at the bottom of the order.
Yeah.
Because like my mind goes to all those other guys that were kind of more in the middle, but it wasn't any of those guys. It was a guy at the bottom of the order.
Yeah. This one's probably a really tough one. This might be the toughest one I have tonight, to be completely honest. Because again, we've all seen that play millions of times at this point.
Yeah, and you never pay attention to the runner because it doesn't matter.
Blonde guy.
I mean, he was a player. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I have no idea who it was. I can run the play in my head. I don't know who hit it.
So this is Jason Donald.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely not a name I was going to pull.
And he felt horrendous at the end of the game, which, like, I get it. Like, it's history.
Yeah.
He was out, but, like, he felt bad. He even said, I think, in the interview, like, I shouldn't have ran as hard, which is, like, terrible thing for a baseball player to say. But, like, I mean, I get it. Like, he was feeling a little guilt, too, for trying to beat it out. And, like, it's.
And there is a level. It's like, okay, you got me. Like, I hit a dubber to the right-hand side. I should be out. Right. And then all of a sudden I'm not out. And it's like, oh man, like you really should have gotten me. And like that
Well,
guilt.
you did get me.
Well, yeah, you did get
Like-
me. I mean, that's got to be a tough feeling knowing that in a weird, kind of a weird play, you broke up what would have been a crazy historic night.
Yeah.
And then you look at some other guys who've gotten perfect games, like friggin' Domingo Herman, and it's just like, really?
I still run the Jose Tabata one in that cost Max Scherzer his perfect game.
That's so
That one's
bad. That was such
brutal.
a blatant sticking my elbow out.
Brutal. Bad. All right. Next one here. Which pitcher arguably had the best game ever recorded in the MLB when he threw a no-hitter and also hit 2 home runs in that same game?
Wasn't it the same guy that hit the home run in the All-Star game, like in the 18th inning? Was he the one that did it in the 18th inning?
His name was already mentioned on this podcast tonight.
It's Wise, Rick Wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, wasn't this the guy that pinch hit in the
It's
All-Star game?
crazy. His name was freaking brought up earlier in the show, and I go, no way, man. I got a trivia question later with him in it. But yes, this is Rick Wise for sure.
Oh, John, yeah, the bunt single.
And oh my God, Schilling
Boy,
was
Schilling
so
was
mad.
pissed and have a right to be.
Yeah.
And that Ben Davis got a mouthful from the dugout when he got back in there.
Yeah, he did.
That's like hitting a 3-0 home run against a position player.
Yeah.
How does that turn out for you?
Yeah. All right. The last walk-off win in an All-Star game was in 2008 at Yankee Stadium on a sacrifice fly by who?
Ooh, 2008 at Yankee Stadium. Was this like a Hamilton, a Beltray? I'm looking.
You're on the right team.
On the right team. Okay. I mean, the red. I immediately started thinking of just red teams.
Yep, you're on the correct team.
And obviously AL because you're at Yankee Stadium. Beltray.
Not
my God,
Billy Larkin.
Who was his buddy at shortstop? Why am I drawing a blank on his buddy at shortstop? It wasn't him though.
Not Kinsler. It's a good guess.
Kinsler's a good one. Oh, is this Michael Young?
It is Michael Young. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Michael Young did it. He was so good. So good. I loved Michael Young's game.
I loved him. He's like one of my like under the radar top players. Like I loved watching that guy play.
1000% love it.
He did a little bit of everything and was just such a good guy.
Yeah. All right. If you have watched our Jeopardy, this was a final category. So the rest of these trivia questions are about certain streaks.
Oh, no.
So we're going streaking. Yes, John Temple, it was Young. You got it. All right. Here is the first one. With today's players striking out at an alarming rate, who holds the record for most consecutive games with at least one strikeout with 37?
Wow. Is this like a Joey Gallo?
No.
Judge piles them up.
It is Aaron Judge. I just noticed I had a typo in that.
But, I didn't see it, so it didn't exist.
Yep. Aaron Judge, 37 consecutive games with at least one strikeout.
Wow. I mean, for him, it doesn't really surprise me, but at the same time, he goes out and hits 300 plus with 60 bombs, and it's okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, Stanton's a good guess, too.
That's also a good guess, yeah.
Yeah, not Stanton.
Schwarber would have been another guess of mine. I mean, there's so many guys that could be candidates for that.
Yep, for sure. All right. Who was the last player to have 6 consecutive games with 3 or more hits?
Oh, wow. This a Royals color?
Maybe.
Brett?
Yes.
Okay. It's like, I'm thinking of good hitters. I'm like, wait, don't miss the color again here, Harrison. Like, pick up on this.
Yeah, 18 hits in 6 games. At least 18.
So
yeah, 3+ hits. So some of those games he had 4, maybe 5, like just almost like that Julio Rodriguez weekend he had.
I was going to say, just like that J-Rod weekend where he had like 27 hits in 3 days.
That was insane. That was
nuts.
Yeah, John Carter got it, Brett. No, Julio.
Not Julio.
Yeah, he wasn't 6 straight games, I don't think. But
He had the most consecutive games with 5 hits, probably. He had like what, 3 of them?
That was ridiculous.
That was crazy. I've never seen somebody so unconscious.
Yeah. All right. If you keep an eye on our page, you already know the answer to this one.
Oh, why did I not?
Who was the last player to record a 7-hit game, achieving this in 2016 for an NL West team?
Why did I not remember this? Literally just saw it. I know it's a Giant. Oh, John's already got it.
Yeah, Brandon Crawford.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Good.
Yeah, John's got it. Both John's got it.
All right. I'm trying to find the Julio Rodriguez because now he tied the record for 17 hits in 4 games. That's weird to say.
17 hits in 4 games.
17 hits in 4 games.
Oh my God.
17 for 22. So he broke the record for obviously that many hits in
Good Lord.
that stretch, but he didn't have it over 6 games. So yeah, he had 17 hits in 4 games is wild.
Jeez.
I need to go back and read that article and just
That's
that, I
obscene.
mean, and the quote says J-Rod is smoking hot. Yeah, that's the understatement of the century right there. That's crazy. But all right, here is the next one. Who holds the MLB record for consecutive games with at least 1 stolen base? Hint, it's not Ricky Henderson.
Well, jeez. Is it even really a record? Oh God, who was the other guy that stole a lot of bases there? We've had him in a trivia question before.
772 average.
Yeah, whatever.
Bananas.
Hitting a cool 700.
Bananas.
Wow, where's Forrest? We've had this person in a trivia question before, and I can't think. It starts with a C.
Not Ruiz. Good guess.
Last name starts with a C. I can't remember exactly what it is.
You are so close.
I know. Oh, there it is. John's got it. Campaneris.
Yeah, it is Burn.
I kept thinking in my mind Campanella. I'm like, that's not it.
Yep.
It's
all right. I've got 2 more for you this evening.
all righty.
Which Toronto Blue Jay holds the record for hitting at least 1 double in 9 consecutive games?
9 straight.
9 straight.
Is this recent?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obvious guesses are Vladdy,
Nope.
Springer, Bo.
Nope. It is Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette, 9 straight games with a double, at least 1 double.
Yeah, to me that sounded like a Carlos Delgado stat, like because he
for sure.
He would either hit it out of the park or off the wall.
Yeah, just wear out gaps.
Oh God, that guy just destroyed gaps.
This is like the 3rd time I've seen Adam Lynn's name, and I haven't heard it in like 6 years. I've seen it 3 times today. It's baseball's so weird like that, where I haven't heard of a guy in forever, and then I see him like 3 times pop up in post or like on the show or something. It's so weird. Yeah, Bo Bichette, 9 straight games with at least 1 double. All right, here is the last and final one. Who holds the MLB record for most consecutive pitching wins within a single season with 19? 19 straight wins in a season without losing.
It's blue. So I guess that, as we talked about the Forest, red and blue are everywhere. So
right.
Oh
yeah, Lind was a doubles machine.
Oh, he was a total doubles machine.
Oh, Cap'n, welcome. Made it.
Oh, Cap'n, all right. Look at that.
Not Gibson. Good guess.
Oh, that's a good guess. I mean, this like a Pedro.
Not Pedro.
I mean, Clemens had some crazy years.
Not Clemens. John just guessed that too. It's not Clemens. Not Whitey Ford. That's a good guess.
Halladay, Cliff Lee.
You are on the correct team with Whitey Ford, John Carter. Well, and I guess everybody else, but
Oh, all right. So we're talking Yankees. Babe Ruth.
Nope. More recent than that. More recent than Whitey Ford.
Pettit.
More recent than Andy Pettit.
Oh, okay. Wow, we're getting really recent then.
Not Jimmy Key. Good guess.
David Wells. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I actually heard a great interview with David Wells the other day where he basically talked about the fact that Torrey was a shit manager.
No. Not Ron Guidry. Good guess. More recent than him.
I mean, no, Luis Heel didn't win that many, but he rattled off a bunch. Rivera. I mean, he could have out of the bullpen won a bunch.
Yeah. It is Garrett Cole.
Chad. Yep.
It is Garrett Cole for sure. 19 straight wins in a season without a loss.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Yep.
How many games did he win that year?
I forget, but
19.
Probably.
Oh, Moose Mussina's a good guess too.
Yeah.
That's such a Mussina stat, and he'd win 19 in a row and finish the season 19-7.
It was his. It was his 2019 year. He was 20-5. So he started 1-4, and then I think he won his last 19 starts.
Jesus.
He had a 2.5 ERA.
Well, that'll do it.
326 strikeouts and 212 innings.
Wow.
Yep, he was all right, and he finished second in the AL Cy Young.
Oh my goodness.
With a 20-5 and 326 strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Who won the Cy Young?
I was just gonna say, who the hell won it that year? 2019.
Yeah. It was Verlander and DeGrom.
Was that Verlander's 21-0 season with the Astros? Or 24? Didn't he win 24 one year? Sticky stuff. John.
What was that? 2019. Verlander was 21-6. He had 34 games started, 223 innings, 300 strikeouts.
So they had really similar seasons.
They did, but yeah, I think they went with the innings pitched.
Probably.
And he reached the 300 strikeout plateau, but
that's nuts.
Crazy. Yeah. So
with you, Chad, it wasn't that long ago, which is that's not a streak you'd expect to see today with these guys.
No,
not going a lot of innings and
pre-COVID
blow up games. Yeah, true. It was a lot different.
Yep. So that is all I had for trivia tonight. It was kind of cool to get back to the old stomping grounds there, but
yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
I do. I love the trivia, and I love how much engagement we get on the trivia, how much people like it.
Yeah, it's been pretty awesome. So, all right. Anything else out of you this evening, Harrison, or anybody for that matter?
I just have one item. So MLB draft happened this past weekend. A lot of former players had kids drafted, and and kind of a good draft overall. I mean, a lot of relatively well-known prospects. And MLB is disappointed. So MLB likes how far the draft has come. Now it's televised. The production of it's good. Like, it feels like a real draft. MLB is disappointed because they cannot get players to come to it. Because this year they had no players there. So when they called names, there was no kid walking up to the podium to get their hat like you see in the NFL. They invited them. None of them wanted to come. A couple did. And by the end of it, the MLB just said, don't bother. We'd rather have nobody here than two kids. And what's interesting is that you have three agencies who represent a lot of these top picks. They had 18 of the top 30 picks. Boris Corporation, Excel Sports Management, Wasserman, who actually tell these kids, don't go. Do not go to the draft. And the reason for it is, and I found this interesting, and Manfred is understanding but disappointed. A lot of these players getting drafted are kids. These are high school kids. They're 17, 18 years old. And what these guys are saying is, do not put your name and your face on TV at 17 years old with an $11 million slotting bonus. Don't do it. Disappear. Go have a party at home, but do not put your face on camera when people see the slotting bonus that you're getting.
Smart.
And I kind of understand that because the number 1 overall pick was a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And their fear is that people come out of the woodwork, like when you win Powerball, people that you've forgotten about all of a sudden show up looking for money. These guys are taking the approach of most guys getting drafted in the NFL. These are 21-year-old guys. Like, they can handle this.
Yeah.
They aren't 17-year-old kids. So these agents taking the stance of, you are too young to put your name and your face on screen like this, so don't do it. MLB really wants to get to a point where they can have kids walk across the stage and get their hat and celebrate the fact that they're a pick. Manfred understands where they're at, but they're trying to find a way to make it a little bit more interactive. But it's a struggle.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand that. However, you're also televising these kids with their pictures and videos and what they look like anyways.
Yep.
On these shows. So like, I completely understand that. But at the same time, like, you're also not blurring out their faces when you're showing their highlight reel.
You're not. You're telling them what high school they went to. I mean, you could figure it out. You could find them if you really wanted to.
Yeah. What were the top picks names?
Yeah. Yeah. Those I think it was a little over 11 million was what the number 1 pick got.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, I really do. Because,
yeah.
I mean, you throw that kind of money in front of any 17-year-old kid, what does that look like?
Yep.
I don't care how good your head is on your shoulders. Like, you throw $11 million on a 17-year-old kid's lap is.
Yeah. And
it's a lot.
In this case, you'd be down in Atlanta. You're kind of subjected to all the chaos of All-Star Week. And, there's a lot going on for these guys who are 17 and 18-year-old to take in.
Yeah.
And I can understand the agent's point of, don't do it. It's not worth it. I can understand Manfred's point of, but there's no risk here. Like, there's not a lot of risk here. Like, we're not hiding who these kids are anyways. We just want to hand them a hat and be able to shake their hand and say, congratulations, welcome to Major League Baseball. I get it, but it's a weird dynamic because MLB is still the only sport where you're drafting kids this young.
Yeah. Chad, this is an excellent point.
Yep.
I mean, half these kids have had their face plastered all over social media for 7 years anyways.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's a fantastic point.
These kids, they're doing the perfect game tournaments. They're all over social media. They're getting televised. I mean, these kids are not anonymous.
Right.
I get throwing a 17-year-old into Atlanta with all the media and all that's probably an overwhelming situation, but the general consensus is there's a lot of people that feel that it's kind of sad and embarrassing to MLB that they can't get kids to come to this. The agents are saying, no, this is a good thing. Like, these kids shouldn't be there. I'll be curious what becomes of the draft, but I will say that this, in terms of talent and in terms of the actual production of the draft, I watched some of it. I mean, granted, I don't watch the NFL draft, but it's hard to sit there and watch a draft for hours on end. But I had it on in the background. I think they did a nice job trying to turn this into something. But it's hard because in baseball, you're drafting a lot of kids you don't know, names you've never heard, kids you've never seen play. And honestly, 75% of these kids that got drafted, you're never going to hear their name again. They're going to get lost in the minor leagues somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and also at 17 years old, like, you're entering the draft, but some of them just finished or are still finishing their high school season.
Right.
Or they've started summer ball. You got American Legion, you got all that stuff. Like, they're still currently playing. So maybe they can't until their name's called and they get pulled off the field because now you're property of the Colorado Rockies. Like, you're still on a team.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And for all we know, it's a Sunday night. I mean, these kids may have been in tournaments somewhere. I mean, who knows?
Right.
I think a lot of them were likely sitting at home with family and friends and watching on TV and waiting for the call. And
if you're going to be a first round draft back, even if first 3 rounds, you're probably not playing in a game. But
maybe not. Maybe you're sitting out.
Yeah.
And that's a good point too, Chad. Like, what happens when a kid falls in the draft?
Starts crying.
Yeah. What is exactly? Ethan Holiday falls out of the top 5. How do they handle it? I mean, we saw Shadur Sanders sit there for friggin' days on end.
Yeah, but that was awesome.
And Cap, and all I can think about is Billy Madison right now.
Yeah.
Nudie Magazine Day. Magazine Day.
Yep. Yeah, and John, this is a good point too. They're already in MLB The Show.
Yeah, they waste no time getting these kids out there.
Nope. Already an MLB The Show. Great point. But
Can you imagine being a 17-year-old playing as yourself in a video game?
well, I mean, I'm 40 and I play as myself in a video game.
That's because you have to create yourself, not because the game creates you.
Oh, well. Anyways,
I mean, fair. Yes, I play as myself too in Road to the Show, but I had to put myself in the game because ain't nobody putting me in the game otherwise.
yeah, that's true. Not yet, Harrison. They will find us one day.
Yeah, there's not time for us anymore, Nick.
Yeah, MLB The Show will find us.
We laugh at how often Byron Buxton gets hurt, dude. We'd be out there getting hurt every third inning.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to message MLB The Show creators, see if they want to come on and ask if they can get us in the game next year.
Maybe we could do the broadcast. We do a great job as the broadcast tandem.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But
can't
be any worse than it already is. But
no, it's Jesus. It's challenging.
Yeah. But all right. Anything else?
Last thing is Rob Manfred was asked if they had any concerns about the All-Star game in 2028 coinciding with the Olympics. Manfred said, nope, we're not going to cancel. We're going to continue on as expected.
I mean, as they should, I think.
It doesn't make any sense to not do it. And there's still open questions about will Major League Baseball players be in the Olympics? And I don't know. I don't know where that stands. We still got a lot of time, but we shall see.
Yeah. Forrest says, I really like the idea of getting these players in the big leagues early on so minors doesn't have the chance to program the natural talent out of these guys.
Oh, I mean, you could make a case for guys like, Skeens and Crochet, and some of these guys have run right through and done just fine because of it.
All right, John, I'm putting in the email right now. I'm going to compose it, send it to MLB The Show.
Yeah. Do you know who we are? Do you know who we are? We're kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. People know me.
Yeah. People know me. They want to hear what I have to say.
I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
That went right off the rails as expected.
Yep. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, John. This has been terrible. It's been a lot of flooding around my area too. We've had 13 plus inches of rain in the last week here. I mean, as you guys heard, but I mean, nothing compared to what happened in Texas. That's terrible. But yeah, we're sending our well wishes there too. It's tough, but absolutely.
Yeah, that one's heartbreaking because it was camps and things like that where I can't imagine what it's like to be a parent.
No.
Thinking your kid is just safe, having a great summer, and then you get that phone call of we don't know where they are.
Brutal.
I can't fathom it. And then the stories that come out are just horrifying.
Yeah.
The two little girls that were found hugging each other. It's terrible.
Yeah. So shout out to the families down there. Hope you guys are trying to put it back together one piece at a time. But
yeah, I mean, I look at what North Carolina went through with, was it Milton that came through, and Asheville, Helene, thank you. Yeah. Asheville got completely wiped off the map, and they're still rebuilding. I know a guy who lives in Asheville, and that is still a day by day process. They're still digging roads out, and it's wild. Yeah.
I mean, there was pretty much the same time the Texas stuff happened that we've gotten all that rain and the flooding here. And I couldn't drink my water, couldn't take a shower for like 5 days because the water treatment plant got washed out. So it was pretty bad. But nothing compared to that. But yeah. Crazy. Anyways, crazy. Anything else for this evening?
Not here. Anybody else got something in chat before we go?
All right. Well, we will be back on Sunday. We'll talk about the weekend series. Baseball is back tomorrow, fellas. Finally. Let's go.
Yeah, and the Red Sox play at like 2:00. Did I see that right?
Oh, I don't know.
Is that their first game back?
It might be. That would be great because I am off tomorrow. I will be pulling up the Red Sox.
2:20 p.m. That's the first game.
That's a weird
first game. Yeah, it's also Chicago. They like to do weird things.
Oh yeah, so like 1:20 start time. I guess it's not terrible.
Yeah, so it's an afternoon game in Chicago, which they love to do.
Yep. All right. So yeah, keep an eye on the page. I'm still releasing like trivia posts. Like if you guys want to share those, trying to get the outreach. We're really trying to grow the following. We really love the ongoing support.
Yeah. And if we could ask a huge favor of you guys, if you are following our Facebook page, if you can go leave us a review on Facebook and Spotify, we would appreciate it.
Yes,
It
please.
helps us get in front of more people and continue to spread the love of baseball.
Absolutely. So we really, really want to keep building this baseball community to have more guys like you come and join us. And we really love the support that you guys give us every time we come on live, and the discussions that it sparks, because that's why we started this, and couldn't have asked for a better community. So we want to keep building that, bring more guys that love baseball like us into it, and ladies for that matter, because we have some very knowledgeable ladies that also follow us.
Yep.
So just looking to build the community and grow the following even more. So keep doing what you're doing. Just share our stuff. Maybe I'll just start putting more Seattle Mariners stuff out there. So John Temple, decides to share it, maybe a little twin stuff in there. So Carter shares it, so
some wicked old baseball stuff. So Forrest shares it.
Some wicked old baseball stuff for sure. And John Carter, tomorrow is the first day of the rest of our season for sure.
I almost get excited like it's like opening day 2.0.
Right?
It feels like it's been forever without baseball.
Absolutely. So, all right. We will see you guys Sunday. Thanks again. You guys are the best. We will be back on Sunday at 9 p.m.
See ya.